Can the government ban cryptocurrency? What's up, y'all? Attorney Tom here. I made a video a couple weeks ago about cryptocurrency 101, and I said this. Interesting hypothetical. Could the United States government ban Bitcoin? That video topic is very interesting to y'all. Let me know in the comments below. And if it gets enough comments or traction, then I'll do research and we'll make a proper video about that. And so here I am, making a video exactly about that subject. Can the government ban cryptocurrency? And before we begin, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you want to be a part of this community. We've been growing like crazy. We just passed 185,000 subscribers, and every time you hit that like button, it pushes the video out to the YouTube algorithm so more people see it and we continue to grow. Your support means the world to me. Before we get into it, quick history lesson. Did you know between 1934 and 1974 it was actually illegal to own gold? Cue Executive Order 6102 signed by FDR, which essentially nationalized gold. All Americans had to turn over all their gold coins, gold certificates, and were paid roughly $20.67 an ounce for turning over their gold. Consequently, if any individuals were found hoarding their gold, hiding it somewhere else, not turning it over to the government, they were prosecuted and could face hefty fines and up to 10 years in jail. And yes, they did prosecute for this. So there you go, history lesson. So the short answer is yes. They've done it in the past, and they could do it in the future. The government very well could ban Bitcoin. But that's not the end of the video, because it's not that simple. Like gold, its value is essentially decentralized, but unlike gold, cryptocurrencies are intangible? They're not physical. They run over the internet. And how do you expect to shut down the internet? It's basically a decentralized asset that runs on a decentralized system. And this discussion is more relevant than ever because you see India trying to ban cryptocurrencies at this very moment. But essentially, as long as the internet exists, people can use cryptocurrencies. So it would be almost impossible to outright ban the use of them, but the government could employ other tactics, such as initiating anti-money laundering laws. So let's go through and look at the tools the government could use to effectively ban cryptocurrency. Tool 1, shutting down the internet. And I know what I just said about shutting down the internet, but hear me out. I'm going through the spectrum of the craziest ways to the more realistic ways. In 2006, the government approved a protocol which would allow the government to shut down local internets in a time of a national crisis. Therefore, it is conceivably possible for the American government to shut down the internet from preventing American citizens from accessing Bitcoin if it was so warranted. Second way, they could destabilize the price by buying it. A wealthy government like the United States government or China could just come in and straight up buy all the Bitcoins and then do whatever they want with it. Don't think it happens? It actually does happen across a whole bunch of other commodities, particularly in conflicts between other states. If one state has a very strong interest in one particular commodity, it might be in another state's best interest to destabilize that particular commodity. It's kind of like the short squeeze with GameStop. Retail investors saw that hedge funds had a bad short position and they decided to take advantage of it. Same type of concept. And so while that isn't necessarily a ban, you're effectively destabilizing the value or worth of the cryptocurrency. And finally, and probably the most realistic way, is through anti-money laundering laws. They could allow the transactions of cryptocurrencies, but the conversion of those cryptocurrencies to cash could be illegal. So then what would essentially be the point if nobody could get cash from the cryptocurrency unless, and this would be really, really bad for the government, people just started accepting the cryptocurrencies and disregarded the cash altogether, which would then lead to even greater problems, which would probably lead the government to more hardcore bans on it. Which, not to get all crypto crazy, is kind of the allure of cryptocurrency, because unlike gold, it can be transferred, it can be broken down into little tiny bits. I can't just go chop off $100 worth of gold from a big gold block, but you can do that with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. So that might very well backfire on the government if they do anti-money laundering laws and people just start accepting the cryptocurrency without trading it for cash. But then the next step would probably be banning businesses from accepting Bitcoin, saying they have to take cash, and the cycle continues one extreme to the other, all the way to banning the internet. So what would happen if the government banned cryptocurrency? Well, short term, obviously, I think we would see the price just plummet. We actually saw this with China. China announced a cryptocurrency ban a few years ago. They didn't really follow through on it, but in the leading days after that announcement, the market cap of cryptocurrencies fell down 20% in a couple days of the entire crypto economy together. And the long-term effects are just impossible to know. We don't know if that would actually make cryptocurrency stronger because the people would develop an anti-government sentiment, or if it would just completely destroy crypto and people would say, hey, this isn't a hill that's really worth dying on, so I'm just going to go ahead and use cash. Speaking of cash, let's talk about crypto cash, or central bank digital currency. That's probably a better word. Central bank digital currency, which is actually the official word. It's different than cryptocurrency, which it's decentralized. There's no owner of Bitcoin. But just as the dollar is the representative currency of the United States government, the United States government can create the digital dollar. And according to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, over 80% of countries are in the works of developing a digital cash. And digital cash itself could be a game changer for centralized banks. In today's pre-digital cash world, when an economy takes a downturn, the centralized bank for that country tries to stimulate the economy through a variety of tactics. The primary which is lowering interest rates, making money cheap to obtain. So individuals, in theory, go out, get that money, spend it, and they stimulate the economy. There's some other tactics as well, which we're not going to get into. One, because I don't understand. Two, because this isn't macroeconomics. Just know that they have tools in their arsenal that they use, but they're not perfect. And the reason for this is because individuals, a lot of the times, will get the money, use them, hoard them, or recycle them through their own ecosystem. A key indicator that central banks look for is velocity of money. They want that money being spent out in the economy, and it helps stimulate everybody. And it makes sense, right? You want money moving. But to date, that's almost impossible to enforce. You can do things in theory and hope that it works out, which is essentially what banks are doing now. But cue digital cash. This gives centralized banks or the government a whole lot more tools in their toolbox to stimulate the economy. Let me give you an example. Talk about expiring money. If I give you $100 cash, now you put that in the bank account, that cash is always going to be there until you spend it. If we have digital cash, the government can apply smart contracts to that cash. They can say, here's $100. If you don't spend this $100 by the end of the month, it is going to be expired. It will no longer exist in your account. Additionally, what if the government said this? You have a digital cash wallet, and it can only store up to $10,000. So you cannot make or store $10,001 and more. So what do individuals have to do? They have to spend money. These are tools that are not available to centralized banks at the current moment. So essentially, the government is taking the most advanced aspects of cryptocurrency and centralizing it. So instead of a decentralized cryptocurrency with smart contracts such as Ethereum, they can have a centralized currency with smart contracts to help stimulate the velocity of money. And let's think about this logically. If the government enacted digital cash with these new tools to help stimulate the velocity of money, they would likely try to promote the velocity of money and prevent people from storing money, hence the whole purpose of all this. So they might try to ban other currencies that get in their way, such as cryptocurrency. So let's wrap this thing up. Can the government ban cryptocurrency? Absolutely, they could. It's not unconstitutional. They have every right to do so. Would they? I don't know. It might actually make cryptocurrency stronger. I hope they don't. If you follow my channel or you know me, I'm a huge fan of cryptocurrency. But that doesn't mean objectively the government can't ban it. And the point of this video was to show you why, from a government's perspective, they might want to ban it. Even though, again, I think it would probably backfire. Wouldn't be a good deal for them. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, that's it for today's video. Please let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns down below in the comment section. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you want to be a part of this community. We cover a whole bunch of topics. We're all over the place. We're having fun. We're growing like crazy. I think we just passed 185,000 subscribers. That is absolutely crazy. Thank y'all so much for the support. I'll talk to y'all later.